Hello everyone and welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2019 here on Project Slipstream. We've got Max Venturi ready and waiting to go racing once again, hot off the heels of a recent victory in, what was that, the tour of, I don't even remember, some low-level tour, but we are gaining experience and progressing. We've got a one-day one-day race coming up as my phone goes off. Let's perhaps put that on silent. And so I've got this one-day race coming up, and then we've got a 4-day tour as well, which is looking pretty flat, pancake flat sort of stuff. But 200 kilometers looks a bit like a classic, doesn't it? It's in Belgium, so let's go and have a look. No idea what this race is. Let's just see how we go, shall we? Our fitness peak has ended, so we don't quite have that to rely on. I suspect that we will be a teammate to Bonifazio, who's the far better sprinter. Being a flat stage, I imagine that's what this will come down to. So let's see what we get when we get into the race. Right then, it's time to go racing. Who knows what we've got? We're going to set up the sprint. So, work on the head of the group with at least one teammate in the group. Okay, alright. So, they want us to pull at the front of the peloton. Not a problem. We can do that. Ultimately, in this one, I think we're going to have to play teammate and just do what the boss wants, because we don't have the sprint to really mix it when we get to the end. It's a long stage, but there's nothing really. The only little lump in it is that one there. Well, there's another one there, but it's basically a flat stage the whole way through, so nothing to really toughen it up for us. So we'll just get on the front of the peloton and do our job for the team. Okay, so here we are entering the finale. 7 kilometers to run here. Just about time to use our gel. Sitting on the wheel of Bonifazio. I'm technically meant to be leading the lead out train, but it's a long way out. I don't think we need to go after that one just yet. Although I've just jumped out to a big old lead, so perhaps I should have. Anyway, we're sitting on the wheel of Bonifazio. I think it's time for us to go. Let's see if I can jump on Adam Blard's wheel here. Sammy is even closer. Let's see if we can jump on his wheel. So a little bit too far out to sprint. But we'll go now. We just don't have the sprint, but we should get a reasonable result. We're not going to win. The attack that I thought was going too far out ultimately got the win. Bonifazio in 6th will get 14th. That's okay, I guess. It's a top 10. Very well. We did our job. That's all we can really be expected to do, I guess. Yep, so P14, P6 for Bonifazio, and the boss is, reasonably happy with us. Yep, we're okay with that. Okay, so our next race is about a week or so, or 2 weeks away, which is the this man, whatever that is. So let's spin forward and jump onto that one. Right then, it's the end of May. We've picked up a couple of points in experience. We've also now got to go and deal with the contacts of interest stuff once again. Let's have a look. What teams do we have here? Nothing really all that interesting. Nothing really all that interesting at all. I guess we'll have I think we went Sport Vladeren before. Let's drop a point in there and see what happens. Yeah. All right. So that's that done. Good to see that bug has sorted out. I don't know if it was just the April 1st one or what, but yeah. Anyway, let's keep going because we've still got a few days before our race begins. Okay, then it is race day. We're going into this one as one of the better riders in the team for a largely flat race. Will probably be a lead-out rider, I would have thought. Thomas Boudin is probably going to be our sprinter. Better acceleration, better top end than what I do. But let's jump in to the first stage, which is a 6-kilometer time trial. So we should be pretty strong for this one, you'd think, and see how we get on. So our objective, fairly straightforward, finish in the top 50 of the classification. We're entering this one as one of the favourites. So, yeah, we should be able to do that, I'd have thought. We're going to start going out with 70%, and we'll crank it up towards the finish. We can, in fact, already start cranking that up. Let's go 80. It's a short stage here. One thing we don't want to do is run out of energy too quickly. A little bit of a crosswind, some tight old corners here as well, aren't there? I mean, it's a hell of a corner for a time trial. But 2 kilometers to go. I think it's time to really unleash the beast and ride flat stick to the finish. There we go. And currently we do have the fastest time. It's now just a case of waiting for the rest of the field to finish and see if that stands the test of time. Well, we didn't win. We didn't even come close. We are down in 39, so we passed our objective, which was to finish in the top 50, which is okay. That'll do. Yeah, manager's happy enough with that, so job done. And we're not going to the San Sebastian Classic. Oh well. Right, let's jump forward into stage 2, the first of the proper stages on this short little 4-day tour. So 2 little lumps, 2 sprint points towards the finish. 166 kilometers is the journey. I don't have a huge fitness peak or anything, but we'll see what happens in this stage. We're one of the better riders for the team, so you never know. We might get a bit of a carte blanche or something. See what we can do. Race probably though isn't hard enough for us throughout the stage. So we'll see how this one plays out. Okay then, we are on the start line and ready for another day's racing. 170 kilometers, the journey, 166.5. We've got carte blanche, which is magnificent. That's what we want to see. I reckon an attack there at that penultimate little lip is the way to go. And then just hope we can stay off the front. I wonder if that's just far enough away for us to use our little surprise attack as well. And yeah, see what happens. Let's go and sit up towards the front. We've got a +2 race day average as well, so we're at 67 on the hills. Our sprint's at 72 and our acceleration is at 68, so we're okay. If we can toughen it up throughout the day, then that wouldn't hurt us, but yeah, we'll see what happens. Ultimately, we want to try and get a good result towards the end, and I think having a go over the penultimate little climb there, the little yellow one, I think that's where we'll launch it and see what happens. Alright, it is just about time to go. Parachon has gone early. It's a little bit too early, I think. Right, we've got to follow these attacks now. And we are going to go ourselves now, I think. We followed them. Now it's time to launch our own attack. See just what we can do. We're a little breakaway. I don't know that that's really going to last. We need to keep going. No, we're not going to... No. So this group has not succeeded. We now need to try and recover. So pick a wheel here. I think Lisa's probably a good one. How's he doing? He's got a lot more energy than me, but that would make sense because we've just launched an attack. Bang. Away we go. Don't really have a big sprint, but you never know. Got to go with the pack. Who's that? Ramieri, not one of ours. But that's okay. Where are we? P10 on the stage. That's okay. We had to roll the dice, I think. As we saw there, we didn't really have much of a sprint to come home with. So I think that attack on the final climb was really our only chance of trying to snag a stage win today. But still, P10 is not too bad. Not too bad. So 10th on the stage leaves us with 39th. We're out to 23rd on the GC. In the white jersey, we're 6th, still 49 seconds back. So that's the team's classification. In under 25s, we are sitting in 5th, which isn't too bad. 18 seconds away from that one. I think we might try and target that. So we just need to watch Corentin Emmanuel, or how do you pronounce that? So I think that will be our objective for this. We've got 2 stages to come. What have we got coming up here? That's reasonably flat. No, yeah, okay. So they're both sprint stages, really a sprinter's tour this one. So we'll do what we can. We don't really have a sprint, but we'll do what we can. Race day once again, and we are on the start line, ready for another one. This one we've got carte blanche, take it easy. We're setting up the sprint train, which is interesting. We're a long way back in the peloton, so we'll move ourselves forward as the first port of call, and then ultimately want to try and move ourselves up in the young riders jersey classification. So let's actually go and put that one on that one there, and see how we go. That's I think where our best hopes are. We're 29 seconds down on a 4-day race, 3 stages of which are absolute sprint stages. So I don't think there's a lot of point trying to kill ourselves to reel that in. I don't think there's going to be a break that will succeed. So I'm not even going to bother trying that route. It's just a case of pinching some seconds back and hoping that those people that we're racing are outside of the time bonuses and outside of the main peloton, so perhaps they strike trouble. So you never know, we've got to be in it to win it. So we'll sit towards the front in this one and get ourselves through the stage towards the final stages and see what we can get out of today's race. Okay, so it's just over 10 kilometers to go. We are at the front end of the peloton, probably the peloton sort of split, hasn't it? We do need to move forward a little bit, so I'm just going to get us to skirt up around the outside, jump onto, who's this, Kuzmini? I'm going to try and get onto Buhani though, and see how we go. Actually, you know what, Wilson is on the back of a bit of a sprint train. here. Where are we? There we go. We're in a good line. Oh, we got blocked. That's alright, we're in a good line here. This is good. This is good. So I like to say, I'm going to jump on the back of Rutan here. No, I'm not. Alright, 5 kilometers to go. We'll activate our gel. So who's going? Convoy on the outside here. He's moving, so we'll jump on his wheel. It's now all about just staying at the very front of the race, trying to be in the right line at the right time. And then timing that attack about a kilometer to go is when you want Duhani is going, so we'll try and jump on that wheel. Maldonado looks like that might be a good one to jump on, in fact. Who's that? Deganda's going well early. I think we need to start following some of these. Oh, I didn't really notice that, did I? Okay, well, our gel's active. Let's go for a sprint up the... Oh, we're blocked. Get out of it. Get out of the way. Oh, that's... We could have really done something there, but now... Oh, that's really annoying. It was our own freaking teammate that did it as well. So he could potentially have had a stage win. We end up 4th. Oh man, that's really annoying. Because if we'd attacked and got that attack to succeed up that climb, we could have got a bit of an air gap. It wasn't much then over the top to the finish line. We could have hung on. Man, that's annoying. It's really, really annoying. So 4th on stage, and the young riders, we're now up to... Oh, we're leading that. Okay. Alright, I'll take that. That's really what our objective was, so yeah, righto. Sitting 2nd in team classification now, we're in that, and 4th in points, so... Look, we're sitting 4th overall, eh? Sitting 4th overall? Oh, that's general. Alright, yeah, let's try this again. Under 25s, there, that makes more sense. 5th in Young Riders. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot better than that, just the time differences are too great with one stage to go, but that's right, we got 4th on the stage. It's not too bad. One stage remaining. Let's push through this one and see where we end up at the end of this short little 4-day tour. A new day, a new race, and this is the final day of the tour of whatever it is we're on. Let's have a look. What have we got? We've got carte blanche again. We need to set up the sprint. We are sitting right down the wrong end of the peloton now. We're going to move way up here as the first thing we do, and then it's basically pancake flat. There are some tiny little lumps towards the back, and just a tiny little uphill sprint as well. That might suit us, you know. That might just suit us. We've only got +1 to our sprint, so we're not particularly strong. We've rolled a net 0 today, so we'll see how the day unfolds for us. Coming up then to the second sprint point, about 15 kilometers to run in the stage. Breakaway is about 35 seconds ahead. We can just see him at the top of the screen there, in fact. So what we really need to do now is start moving ourselves into position. Let's have a look. Where are our young rider rivals? Sitting clear. Let's have a look at you. You've got about the same energy as me. That's okay. There, Emmanuel, See, you're too far back. Okay. So let's just play this on and let's just see where we can end up. We've got a lot of these red and white jerseys at the front of the race here, don't we? Ultimately, I don't really want to participate in the preem sprint. I'm more interested in the stage itself, so I'm just going to sit in. And suck some wheels for the moment. Reeling in some of these breakaway guys. They're not going to stay away. You wouldn't have thought. Now the trick here is when we use our gel. I think we use it still at about 5 kilometers because we've got a little descent, just a tiny little one, and then that climb. So what I also want to do is be right up the very front of this race. I can't afford to be buried in the pack at all. So if I'm not in that front row, really, as we start this climb, we are 4.7 kilometers, that'll do. We'll use the gel. So I need to be right at the very front as we start this one, so that I don't get caught out of position. So they're going really early here. Really early. Way too early. Because they're going to hit that sprint and hopefully I'll die. Alright, this is where I now need to go on my own and trust that I can get there. Still have that gel active. Now we'll go. Probably gone a bit too late. I've gone way too late. That came up way quicker than I was expecting. That's not gone to plan, but there's some time gaps in here. This is interesting. So I should go across probably with the same time as the leaders. There might then be a little bit of a time gap back to some of these other young riders. So you never know. We might actually come out of this okay. We might sneak a position or two in the young riders. So let's have a look, shall we? So in the results, everyone's picked up the same time, so there's no time gaps, which means unfortunately in the under 25s we will finish just 5th. In GC we're 23rd. We lost a bunch of time in the time trial to start that. 12th in the sprints, nowhere in the mountains, and Total Direct Energy 6th in the team's classification behind Movistar. So what was the boss's impression of that one? Apparently he doesn't care. It was the last stage, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. So the boss was nonplussed with that. Right then, that might do it for this one then, because we are just waiting now for the next race. As soon as the simulation stops, we will we'll check out where that is. Right then, so we have a bit of a break until we've got this one-day classic, 174 kilometers, yeah, and then we've got the Oostenrijk, yeah, whatever that is, and there's some seriously big mountain stages in this. Like, have a look at that. That's great. That's great. So they're going to be seriously testing us. We'll worry about those another time, though. Thanks so much for your company. If you liked what you saw, give us a thumbs up. Leave your comments below as well. If you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon next to it so that you get notified when we do publish a video. But as always, thanks so much for your company. We look forward to seeing you next time in Pro Cycling Manager 2019 with Max Venturi. And as always, safe riding.